This is Valley News Live at noon.
Good afternoon. We start today with breaking news into the Valley News Live newsroom. A fire is raging at a mobile home park just south of Main Avenue, tucked in off 42nd Street South. Multiple crews are on scene to battle the blaze, and Valley News team's JC Dodd is on the scene with them. JC, what can you tell us?
Anna, I can tell you, as I was driving to this location, I could smell the smoke before I could see it on I-29. It was very, very strong driving when I was coming here off of 13th. It's right behind that Aldi. Now they have closed down Waco Lane, and it is in a mobile home park. There are 4 fire trucks that I've seen. 1 ambulance was here earlier, but they have left. It's unclear if anyone was in that ambulance or not. Now I've seen crews coming in and out of the house. I have not seen actual flames, as we're not able to get very close to where this fire is taking place. But I'm going to continue staying on scene, gathering as much information as I can to give it to you guys as soon as possible. For now, live in South Fargo, JC Dodd, Valley News Live.
Thanks so much, Jason. Well, thanks for joining me on the news at noon. A little bit of a different start there. I'm Anna Johnson, and happy New Year's Eve. This is Lisa Green joining us today. It's going to be really cold tonight, I understand. So if people are going to make plans for New Year's, now is the time to do it. Can you tell us what our forecast looks like?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully folks have already made plans to have your ride home, to get home safely here today, because it's cold now. Maybe you stepped outside already, and it will get even colder heading into tonight. So we have our first alert weather day for your New Year's Eve, and it extends into that new year. So here's a look at our conditions outside. We've got some wind, so that means we've got a wind chill factored in. You can see that on the flags there. Down at the Dakota Magic Casino, more clouds there, but there are places, especially in the northern part of the valley and central part of the valley, where we have some sunshine. It's not doing us much good. We're at 13 below in Fargo, 16 below in Grand Forks. One of our warmer places, Bemidji, is at 7 below, and Fergus Falls checking in at 6 below. But look at Devil's Lake, 20 below at the noon hour here. So we've got some frigid numbers. Now, taking a look at your wind chills, it gets worse, unfortunately. We're looking at wind chills down into the 40s below in Langdon and in Devil's Lake. And at times today, we've been into that 50 below range. So it's been quite cold in especially northeastern North Dakota. But all of us are starting to get into wind chills that are a little more tough. We're talking 20s and 30s below as well. And that is a difference from this morning. And this will continue as the day goes on. We've got a system passing by mainly to our south. There are some clouds associated with it just on the edge of the FM area, and there could be a few flakes, a few flurries around the Wheaton area and Elbow Lake, but largely this is missing us here today. Up in Grand Forks, we've got lots of sunshine, but again, it's still very cold. We're looking at temperatures in the teens this afternoon, and then starting their slide as we head toward midnight tonight. So here's a look at your New Year's Eve planner. I think around midnight there's going to be a lot of places in that 20 to 30 below range. And your wind chills, this is the tough part. Well, if this wasn't already the tough part, the wind chills are even worse, 40 to 55 below. That's in that life-threatening category. So we're going to talk more about this, how to plan for it, and what to expect as we start off 2022 as well.
Well, you don't always hear that it's life-threatening to go out for a holiday, but here we are.
Here we are. Make sure you are ready.
Thanks so much, Lisa. We have breaking news update. Late last night, wildfires in Colorado fueled by strong winds began to burn hundreds of homes, a hotel, and a shopping center outside of Denver. The fires have forced thousands of people to flee their homes. At least 1 first responder and 6 others have been injured.
Our fire personnel are working as hard as they can to save additional structures as we speak, and when it's safe to do so, we'll start the emotional and painful process of assessing damages.
Boulder County Sheriff says there could be more injuries and possible deaths due to the intensity of the fires that quickly swept across the region. Evacuations have been ordered for a number of cities. But first light this morning, the towering flames that had lit up the night sky were gone, leaving smoldering homes and charred trees and fields. The winds had died down and the light snow was in the forecast, raising hopes it could prevent flare-ups. A woman wanted for murder in Michigan is under arrest in North Dakota. Police say that they arrested 23-year-old Ashanae Horton Starks in Bismarck yesterday for a homicide warrant. Authorities say Horton Starks shot and killed a 26-year-old woman in the Detroit suburb this past summer. Horton Starks is pending extradition back to Michigan. A light show and fireworks display brought in the New Year's in Australia on their place against the backdrop. backdrop of Sydney Harbor Bridge and Sydney Opera House. Some fireworks were let off earlier in the evening to give younger children a preview of the show. Hours before the celebrations began, Australian health authorities reported a record 32,000 new coronavirus cases, many of them in Sydney. Because of the surge, crowds were far smaller than pre-pandemic years, when as many as 1 million revelers could crowd the city center. Stocks waded in choppy waters in the final trading day of the year. One stock that was a pandemic darling, Peloton, took another hit and backpedaled further after its shares were downgraded by JMP Securities. On the flip side, Pfizer gained ground on news that its COVID-19 pill had been approved in England. Countries around the world are preparing for New Year's even though COVID is raging. But next, weather to plan your day.